Hello, everyone. Good morning and welcome to Coffee Chat with Jody Myciak. Today is recorded because I'm actually at the forest with my daughter for her forest trip. And so, um, so it's like I'm here, but please grab your coffee, tea, smoothie, and come and chat with me. I would love to hear your thoughts. So comment below and I will come and check on them after. So act like I'm actually live and just comment when you have a question or a comment, and I will get back to you this afternoon. And grab your coffee and let's do this. So last week on Coffee Chat, I mentioned one of the things you could do a simple thing you could do to make this year epic, or whatever word you're using, or whatever you want to feel awesome, excited. Um, One of the things is to feel your feelings. Now, I took this as like part two because it's a good lengthy little thing. So first off, I just want to share, if you aren't feeling your feelings, it is absolutely okay. Don't beat yourself up. First, I've been there. I'm still there sometimes. And we as women have been taught not to feel our feelings. Men even more so, I find. But let's just focus on us and moms for now. Is we've been taught to not be angry, not to, I know I never even cried in public. I remember going to the Titanic in whenever it came out. I feel like it was grade 8 for me. Anyways, um, I was in the movie theater with a friend and she was crying, and I was just like, why is she crying? I couldn't even cry. Now everything makes me cry, but I couldn't cry in public. I thought it was a bad thing to do, and I really held my emotions down, and it really dampened a lot of things and has probably hurt a lot of people throughout the life, and myself included. So you're not alone if you don't feel your feelings. But here is where I'm going to share a story that happened over Christmas, and I'm going to get real personal. I am going to really share. So over Christmas, actually Christmas night, I completely was like sobbing. I was a mess. So there's a couple of reasons why, but like the thing that triggered me, if you look at it, I can tell you what it is, but this trigger should not have affected me, but there's many reasons why it did. Our kids did not sleep that night. They were up and tossing and turning. They were having a really rough sleep, both of them. So it was like back and forth, back and forth. I wasn't sleeping, and then because it was Christmas, we had Christmas. We wanted to open some gifts. We wanted to hang out with the family, and our kids didn't nap, and that's usually my downtime, especially on weekends and holidays. So both kids didn't nap. Like if Jada napped, I could still do my thing because Anastasia can play on her own. But anyway, so I wasn't taking enough time for myself. But yes, we were having a good time. It was a beautiful day. Like nothing too strenuous. We stayed home, but I didn't take time for myself to have a nap to rest. And then when we discovered that we couldn't order, I only have like one real Chinese restaurant in town that I really like because they do dim sum. We went to order and we couldn't because they weren't taking any more orders. And last year we had no problems ordering from them. So anyways, that moment really was just like, I was devastated, not because like my husband found a different place. Mind you, we almost did not have supper that night, and we had nothing that was easy to make in the time frame that we had. And I was like, oh my goodness, I do not want pizza for Christmas night because it's the only other thing that was open. There's one Chinese food place open still because apparently it was a snowstorm here. So I think that a lot of people, anyways, we almost didn't have supper. And that was even more devastating to me. Anyway, so I didn't have sleep, but it was actually a gift in disguise. So yes, the reason I was crying was not really in my opinion, cry worthy or meltdown worthy, but it probably wasn't actually that. It wasn't that caused it. It was being tired, having feelings underneath the surface that I have not addressed yet. And it really, they were just coming to the surface. So I just had like this trigger point, and I needed to cry and I needed to feel those feelings. If I just was like, no, everything's okay. And if the anger that I felt or the frustration or the disappointment, if I kept that underneath the surface, it would just come up again and it probably come up even more. So I went, on my own, and I had my good little cry. And I like, even, we feel guilty. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm crying and I'm really upset about this and I shouldn't be. But I just felt that it was just overwhelming because I didn't have sleep. But I had all these emotions coming up, things that I was been putting on hold to deal with. And because I let myself cry and feel, I really got to release a lot of baggage that I've been hanging on to, a lot of feelings that have been keeping me um, kind of stuck and that just been hovering underneath the surface. So I went to deep journaling and really just writing things down, and it was really incredible. And I actually shared it in a blog. Like, things were just coming out of me that I realized that I've been hanging on to, and being okay with where I am for not sleeping and things like that. So it's really amazing what happens when you let those feelings out and you allow yourself to feel them. So our cats are playing or are fighting. Make sure they don't take down the tree. Um, so it's okay to feel your feelings. And it's even okay if that trigger is the thing that you're like, this is so stupid that I'm crying about. Like I said before, it probably actually isn't that you're dealing with. It's just a trigger point. Something that's showing up that said, you haven't taken care of this yet, go take care of it. So when you're having if you need to cry, cry. Have those little cry fits. Journal. There different ways to work it out is going for a walk. I go into my room usually and I just have like a little cry out, or if I don't have time, it's like a bathroom, close the door, a little cry out. And then it's not just crying, and definitely like feel it, be in the moment, yell if you need to, whatever feeling you're feeling, feel it, and just feel it wholeheartedly, own it, get messy. That was a hot mess. And then figure out why. And a good one for me personally is starting to write it down and just see what spilled out of you. It's journaling, or sometimes I don't have my journal on me and I have my phone and I'm just writing out what's showing up for me. And I have to say, as much as I did not love to end my Christmas evening a mess like that, it was the best thing that happened over the holiday season. I really got clear on what was holding me back from things, what was really underneath the surface. Like, if I didn't let those feelings out, who knows when else they would have popped up. So feel your feelings, but don't. Here's the big important thing: do not stay there. Do not stay in those feelings. Allow yourself to feel them. Feel them, move through them, and then release them. So there's a big thing that I did in school when I became an empowerment coach is you name it, you claim it, you grieve it, and you release it. So for me, it's my naming it was pretty much like, I'm just a sobbing mess. I was there, and it's just like claiming it, owning it. I own my feelings. I was owning that I was a mess at the moment, that it's okay. And then I was grieving it. I was really, really, and here's the other thing. If I would have actually done this sooner, I actually could have named it without being a mess. And then that grieving process, I actually kind of almost jumped to the grieving process, or kind of like snowballed them all into one. tuck them neatly into one where it's like really upset, and it's writing it down or talking it through. My husband's a really good soundboard. It's just having somebody to talk it out. Um, but what was the most healing experience for me was writing it down and then sharing it. I actually shared it with all my mastermind business colleagues, and because I felt like I wasn't showing up fully for them, um, I was trying to put on like this good friend. And anyway, so I shared it, and then I shared it with you in the Facebook group. So it's writing it down, and for me, I like to share it because it's more real, and I'm hoping that somebody gets to learn from it. So that is really, feel it, move through it, release it. It can even be that simple. So feel it, move through it, and release it. And there's other things that I actually do with my clients, and it's like burning rituals where you can just write it down, burn it obviously safely. We can't actually have fires here in Waterloo, so we do, a glass pan or something that you can light and then do it safely, where things won't burn, or I can take it up to the cottage. And there's that, and there's just, you can do an actual little ritual, or it can be tearing it up and burying it, whatever you'd like to do. You can kind of come up with your own. And for me, a big one was writing it down, and I shared it. And I can't tell you how many amazing things happened after I moved through those feelings and really let them go. It really opened up a whole new, it just, things just started to really click better. So they weren't hiding under the surface anymore. And then the other, just in case you wanted to know and you want to write it down, the other one that I was saying that it's 4 parts is claim it, or sorry, name it, claim it, grieve it, and release it. So that one, or you can even do more simplified. Feel it, move through it, and let it go, or release it, whatever way you want to work. But it's similar things. And sometimes as moms, we get caught up and we actually feel like we're right there, we're feeling it, and then what we do is like, oh, we either say we don't have time for this, we can't feel this right now, we've been taught not to feel it, so we're just, putting it down, and then we're like, we'll deal with this later. And then later usually it shows up with the fireworks or, cork flying through, like off a bottle of champagne, like, so it's really good to try and get it before it gets too explosive. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, please comment. Like I said, I've literally been walking this, and I've been that person where I would always pretend to be happy because I was like, be positive. And I'm not saying that being positive isn't an important thing. It really is to think positive and be positive. But if you have emotions that are there, they're there for a reason. They're showing you where you need to heal, and then you work with them, and then you can move through them and onward, and then you can keep thinking positive. But if you put positively like a band-aid of a wound, like it's not going to heal. Like as much as band-aids usually help us in the real world, that's not so good for feelings and wounds of the soul, because eventually the band-aid will fall off, and you'll realize that wound's still there, and you still need to deal with it. So putting positive spins on things is amazing, but you need to remember those feelings are there for a reason, and they're really there to help us heal, grow, and just really expand as a person. So again, I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye for now.